In the quaint town of Eldridge Hollow, a chilling legend surrounded a spectral figure named Professor Cedric Marrow, a 45-year-old lecturer who taught ancient literature at the local university. Under the cover of night, whispers echoed through the dimly lit hallways as students claimed to see him glide past, a luminescent presence sharing knowledge from beyond the grave. It wasn't until I enrolled in his night class that the truth behind his ghostly teachings unfolded. A tale of a teacher bound by a tragic fate, whose lessons became corridors to the supernatural. Seeking answers, I, too, was drawn into his realm, where literature became tethered to lost souls and vengeful spirits. As I navigated the mingled realities, the line between student and specter blurred, leading me down a path filled with prophecy and peril. The class revealed not just the beauty of literature, but the stark horror of the unknown. It was within these chilling narratives that a shocking revelation awaited, a twist that would forever alter my perception of the living and the dead. It was a crisp autumn evening when I, Daniel Reyes, a 22-year-old literature student, stepped into the ancient University of Eldridge Hollow. The sun had long set, although a half-moon illuminated the campus with an eerie glow. My peers had spoken in hushed tones about Professor Marrow, a man who had dedicated his life to the love of literature, but was rumored to now walk among us as a spirit. Nevertheless, I was undeterred. Eager to immerse myself in the world of prose, I signed up for his night class, The Echoes of Shadows, Literature of the Beyond. As I walked to the classroom, an unsettling chill wrapped around me, compelling me to hurriedly glance back at the silhouettes of trees swaying in the wind. The weathered door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit room filled with old tomes and curling pages. There, standing in front of a blackboard, was Professor Cedric Marrow. His eyes sparkled with an otherworldly light, shadowed by a knowing smile that sent chills down my spine. "Welcome, my dear students," he announced, his voice smooth yet echoing, as if carrying a lingering resonance of another realm. Tonight, we embark on a journey through the words of those who have transcended the barriers of life and death. I could hardly concentrate. The air was heavy with an essence that felt both comforting and foreboding. Once the class commenced, the atmosphere shifted. My fellow students, too caught up in fear, spoke little, but I felt drawn to the professor's lessons, each word stirring an emotion buried deep within me. "Have we ever truly left our past?" he questioned, suddenly locking eyes with me as if he sensed my inner turmoil. "Or does it haunt us like a spirit, guiding our journeys?" The weeks rolled on, as gravelly shadows deepened around Eldridge Hollow. Each class, I found myself transfixing on the tragic tales the professor recounted. We discussed authors who wrote beyond their lives, illuminating paths of expression that wove between nostalgia and dread. Yet, as I dug deeper, unsettling occurrences infiltrated my life, a growing feeling of being watched, whispers in the corridors, and cold drafts that seemed to brush past my skin. One night, driven by curiosity, I lingered after class. The professor, lost in thought, appeared to be fading into the darkness. "Professor Marrow," I called out, hesitating as I approached. "Do you feel it too? The connection between literature and something more?" At that moment, his gaze penetrated mine, revealing layers of sadness. "You sense the truth, dear Daniel. They yearn to be understood. Their spirits linger in ink and shadow." Those words ignited a flame within me, igniting my need to unravel the mysteries surrounding him. But as the days turned into weeks, he grew more somber. A sense of urgency enveloped the classroom. Ghostly figures became more pronounced in my dreams, pleading for resolution. I detailed these encounters to Professor Marrow, hoping he had the answers. "Perhaps there is a story left untold," he suggested, pacing like a restless spirit. "We must delve deeper. You must voice what you see and feel." Willing to confront the unknown, I began recording my experiences, culminating each fragmented dream, which started to weave together an intricate tapestry of grief and unfinished business. Night after night, the haunting presence of lost souls became more vivid, setting the stage for a climactic confrontation. Then came a night that would change everything. The atmosphere was thicker than usual, with indistinguishable murmurs circulating through the walls. I arrived early, anticipating a new revelation, finding the classroom cloaked in shadows. "Daniel," Professor Marrow's voice echoed softly beside me. "It's time to put your fears to rest. Tonight you will speak their truths, the haunting stories that bind them." "Speak what? I don't understand," I retorted, my heartbeat echoing wildly in my ears. He gestured toward a large, dust-laden book laid on the desk. "This is the Chronicles of Eldridge, a source of ancient tales from souls caught between realms. You must read it aloud." As I flipped through the frail pages, a chill skittered along my spine. The ink pulsated with life, revealing long-forgotten tragedies that seemed eerily familiar. Tales of lost students whose dreams crumbled in shadows that echoed my own fears. Realization struck me. Each story unfurled connections to my own life, mirroring the spirits that plagued me. The moment I muttered the first words from the book, the temperature plummeted. The air shimmered, forming apparitions that danced around the room. I screamed, and the spirits encircled me, urging me to continue as Marrow stood, a silent guardian, commanding respect from those who had come to hear their tales. "Why are you showing me this?" I gasped, the voices blending into a crescendo. "They wish for release," Professor Marrow replied, speaking softly yet firmly. "Your words can set them free." In that split second, I realized the twist. This supernatural lecturer was once a student just like me, forever bound to guide those who were lost, unable to find peace. He could only teach through another, trapped in his many melancholic narratives. "I cannot speak for the dead. I'm not them," I yelled, desperation consuming me. "You must. You hold their resolution," he urged, merging with the specters in a misty embrace. "Break the cycle." Steeling my resolve, I shut my eyes and poured forth the words, weaving together the sorrowful tales and revealing the darkness sewn into their realities. Each syllable dripped with emotion. I voiced not just their hauntings, but my hidden fears and regrets, releasing them into the ether. As I spoke, the shadows grew brighter, swirling in harmony. Time screamed past as the class morphed into a ritual. Each participant awakened to their own truths, sharing their burdens. The once oppressive darkness ebbed, revealing light that shone upon the spirits, guiding them toward the tranquility they sought. The room flickered with energy until, at last, I reached the final passage, my voice resonating through the air. When silence finally consumed the atmosphere, there was no longer an unsettling chill. The spirits had dispersed, leaving behind an essence of freedom and relief. Breathless, I turned to Marrow but discovered he had vanished. In his place lay the ancient book, its pages glowing warmly. Though I knew he meant to stay, a part of him transcended, having found his own release through my words. My heart felt heavy yet liberated. I decided I had to share our stories with the world to ensure their echoes would not fade into oblivion. The semester closed, yet an everlasting change resided within me. With the knowledge I gained, combined with a sense of duty to the spirits, I authored a collection of our hauntings, cleverly entwining my own experiences with theirs. Thus began my journey as a writer, culminating in local lore about a spectral lecturer who guided me through the shadows. The tales revitalized Eldridge Hollow, breathing life into the past while providing solace for the departed. Though I sometimes feel the chill of a ghostly presence at my shoulder, I have come to embrace it, knowing it is merely a reminder of those who guide within their own world of literature. Still, I wonder how many others await their chance to share their stories, waiting in the quiet corners of classrooms.